Well, greetings everybody again to our recital of Goswami Tulsidas's Sri Ram Charita Manasa, in the translation of the Reverend A.G. Atkins, and he calls it the Tulsi Ramayana. So now Ram, Sita, and Lakshman have been sent off to the forest. They've come to the Ganga and met with Guha, and Sumanta is now going to return. So we're in the middle of a passage where Sumanta is beseeching that the brothers let Sita come back to Ayodhya because that would assuage very much the grief of the separation that people were undergoing in Ayodhya. So we're in the middle of Sita's response to that request for her to go home. So, Jai Guru, Jai Guru, Jai Guru, Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Gurave Gaurachandraya, Ratikaya Stadalaye, Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya, Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namaha. Vaidehi Sahitam Suradrumatale Haine Mahamandape Madhye Pushpakamasane Manimaye Virashane Samstitam Agre Vachayati Prabhanjanasute Tattvam Munibhya Param Vyakhyatam Bharatadivi Parivritam Ramam Bhaje Shamalam Vame Bhumishuta Purastu Hanuman Paschat Sumitra Sutta Shatrugno Bharatascha Parshvadalayorvayadikoneshu cha Sugrivascha Vibhishanasta Yuvarat Tarasuto Jambavan Madhye Nila Saroja Komalaruchim Ramam Bhaje Shamalam. So we're continuing with the events in Awadh, the Ayodhya Kanda. So Sita is speaking to Sumant. Do not be then offended, sir. Take it not ill. If your wishes and words I resist, but apart from my Lord's lotus feet, other ties are as naught, do not even exist. I have seen my own father's luxurious renown, at his footstool seen many a king's jeweled crown. Though the comforts of home are so many and real, yet apart from my husband they have no appeal. My lord's father, Koshala's king, rules over broad fair dominions, his prowess and praise, all realms lord. Lord of lords, the great Indra, to greet him would rise, and would seat him on half of his throne in the skies. As my own are my father and mother-in-law, and my friends in Awadh, brighter spot none e'er saw. But if Rama's feet on that spot cast not their dust, I could not dream of bliss there, in joy could not trust. Long hard roads, great high mountains, the rough forest ground, lions, elephants, rivers, and lakes that abound, the wild folks of the jungle, each wild bird and beast, with my Lord will give joy, nor deter me the least. At the feet of my parents-in-law humbly falling, beseech them thus on my behalf. In the forest I'll have joy and comfort, I beg you, for me take no grief to yourself. My lord and his brother, who bear bow and quiver, hold heroes' renown, ready I to deliver. Fear, pain, and distress no road ever can offer. With them may no one for me worry and suffer. Sumant, hearing Sita's calm voice, was now tossed in distress like a snake when its gem it has lost. With his eyes, naught he saw. With his ears, naught he heard. In his worrying grief, he could not say a word. His best, Rama tried his friend's darkness to brighten, but nothing seemed able his sadness to lighten. To follow with Rama he ardently pled. Rama's answers turned back fruitless all that he said. Rama's orders can never be flouted, he thought. Fate is hard and brings all one's resistance to naught. Bowing low in farewell to them all, he returned in distress, like a merchant who's lost all he earned. As he drove off, his horses turned back towards Rama and whinnied again and again. At the sight of the poor grief-stricken boatman, he beat his head wildly in unrelieved pain. If parting, dumb creatures were so grieved about him, could parents and people endure life without him? To the city thus Rama made Sumanta go back, and himself to the bank of the Ganges made track. When he asked for a ferry, the boatman said, "No, I am too wide awake. All about you I know. People say that your feet and their magic are such. Human beings are made in a trice by their touch. So a rock a fair woman became, 'tis well known, and you know as I do, wood is softer than stone. If to make of my boat a saint's wife you're disposed, then the boat will be lost and the ferry be closed. Tell me, how could I then my poor family support? I know no other trade, have no other resort. So if you for a ferry now ask and persist, upon washing your feet first, I too will insist. You let me bathe your feet, then I'll give you a seat in my boat and take nothing as toll. You're the ground of my oath, you're the king, you and King Dasrat both. What I say is the truth, upon my soul. With his shaft, if he will, poor Lakshman may kill, and there may not be one to deliver. Unless this you permit, in my boat you'll not sit, and I'll not take you over the river. The merciful one gave a look and a smile as he heard to his wife and his brother. These words of the boatman he took to his heart, full of love as they were, and so simple. To the ferryman, smiling, this answer he gave: do whatever is needed, your boat, friend, to save. Bring the water and wash my feet now, with no loss of our time. Please be quick, and then take us across. The one whose name, when recalled, gives all assistance to cross o'er the unbounded sea of existence, who all worlds, as Vishnu, in 3 strides traversed. By his kindly request a poor boatman's faith nursed. With her joy at the sight of his feet, Ganges swelled, but her mind by his words and their mystery was held. First the ferryman, having now Rama's command, filled a water bowl from the Ganges close at hand. Then to wash those beloved lotus feet he began, while his heart with its love and its fervour overran. From the gods flowers fell as the boatmen they praised. Such a storehouse of merit none ever has raised. He washed the Lord's feet, and then with his relations the pure sacred water he drank. Then he took Rama across, and thus over life's sea took his forefathers rank upon rank. With Sita and Lakshman and Guha descending, and on the far bank of the Ganges now standing, Lord Rama bethought, as the oarsman came near and bowed low, "We've given nothing for bringing us here." But this thought of her dear one's heart Sita divined, and a jeweled ring offered him, happy in mind. Rama offered it, saying, "Take this as you're told." But the man clasped his feet and poured out thus his soul. "Far the best of all gifts, Lord, today I've received, since from suffering, sorrow, and sin I'm relieved. I have worked many years in the thing that engages my powers, but today God has given full wages. No more do I wish, my Lord, nothing request, but that on me your goodness and favour may rest. What you give when returning you come to these banks, I will take, Master, then with sincere heartfelt thanks." Both Rama and Lakshman tried hard, but the boatman took nothing, not even a cowrie. So Rama dismissed him and blessed him with faithful devotion as heaven's best dowry. Rama bathed in the stream, and with homage the worth of and the praise he there voiced of the Lord of the earth. To the river goddess Sita too humbly prayed, "To fulfill my desire, mother, grant me your aid. With my husband and brother again to your banks, may I come and here render you homage and thanks." Then, as Sita thus lovingly offered her prayer, a sweet voice from the pure water broke on the air. "O Vaidehi and Rama, whom dearest I own, through all worlds, to all people your glory is known. But a glance from you makes e'en the poorest as kings. To your will are devoted, to your will are devoted all powers and all things. By your kindness today highest honor I've gained, since to offer me worship and prayer you have deigned. I give in return, dearest goddess, my blessing. All hopes be fulfilled that you here are expressing." Returning to Koshala's kingdom with husband and brother, your love's matchless story shall find its fulfillment with all your desires, and the earth shall be bright with your glory. These words of the Ganges in kindliest voice and her graciousness made grateful Sita rejoice. Then the Lord said to Guha, "You now may go home." Hearing this, Guha's face became clouded with gloom. In a voice low and humble, he started to plead, "To my prayer, Lord of Raghu's line, give gracious heed. Be this boon on me, Master, a few days bestowed. Let me stay with you, serve you, and show you the road. In the forest, wherever you choose a fit spot, let me build for you there a convenient grass hut, as you then may command me whatever you say. Raghubir, I will quickly and gladly obey. Rama gave his permission, the surest result of a love so sincere. This made Guha exult. He called up and dismissed all his villager friends with the comfort that on true devotion depends. Due homage to Shiva, Ganesh, and the Ganges. Again Rama reverently paid. Then with Sita, his friend and his brother, his way to, to his goal in the forest he made. He stopped neath a tree for his rest as day ended, and thereby both Lakshman and Guha was tended. Next morning, with duties completed, their faces they set towards Prayag, king of all pilgrim places. There, truth is king's minister, faith the king's wife, Madhav, god of the junction, the friend of his life. His treasury filled with all good for his minions, all virtues his widespread and glorious dominions. Throughout all his dominions stand strong forts and great towers, which no foe can conquer, however great his powers. His forces hold all other pilgrimage spots, strong to overthrow all evil's armies and plots. His great throne is the place where the three rivers meet, with its banyan tree awning above the king's seat. The waves of the rivers are fans waved above him. The sight scatters pain and want from all who love him. So it's Prayag, the person. Great hermits and saints here have served him, and thus the desires of their hearts have received. His own heralds, the scriptures, aloud sing his praise, and faith's victories by him achieved. To tell all Prayag's prowess, say, who could begin? Lion bold, scattering elephant-like hosts of sin, as this sacred place, with which none else is compared, Rama saw, he, joy's fount, in its joy himself shared. The pilgrimage king and his glory unbounded, he there to his three dear companions expounded. Obeisance he made, then each garden and grove, as they saw it, he told of with warm earnest love. So they came to and saw there the tree junction flows, Trivenia, which when seen and recalled every blessing bestows. They bathed there, before it with glad homage falling, on Shiva and local divinities calling. To Saint Bharadwaj then went Rama with haste, and paid reverence the hermit the young prince embraced. For his joy the saint could not find fit word or speech, as though now at long last heaven's joy he could reach. Who wants to be Bharadwaj now? Rama's come to Bharadwaj's ashram at Prayag. Who's next?
Me. So what page? Sorry, I was buzzing around. I wasn't following the text. I
Not
was
to worry.
listening.
Let me tell you, it's page 578.
1 minute.
And it's halfway down the page. Doha
578.
Yes.
Okay.
Halfway, Doha 103, halfway down the page. He gave Rama his blessing, etc.
Okay.
All right. It's great,
Yep.
isn't it? So now, Bharat, you're Bharadwaj now.
I am Bharadwaj.
Hmm.
Am I? With Bharadwaj in Prayag. Oh my God. I spent much time in Prayag. Okay, let's get up here. Continuing. Doha 103. Tulsidas Ramayana. Jai Sri Ram. He gave Rama his blessing, and deep in his heart he thought thankfully of joy now given. It seemed the reward of his virtue to bring to his sight God had come from his heaven. Chopai 107. He asked how they fared to a seat. Then he led them, and with all affection and honor he fed them. Sorry, that was Ramesh Baba just phoning me from India. Oh, God, I got confused there. I've got to start again. Oh, fuck. No, decline. God, how do I do it? Oh, God, sorry, someone's trying to call me while I'm doing that. Sorry. He asked how they fared. To a seat then he led them, and with all affection and honor he fed them. Fruits, herbs, and roots brought he himself, the selector, and gave them to eat, tasty all as of nectar. With Sita and Lakshman and friend Guha there, Rama ate with delight of this fine, simple fare. Then with Rama at ease, all his weariness flown, Bharadvaj to him said in a soft, modest tone, Now, every austerity, pilgrimage, offering, all prayer, contemplation, detachment and suffering, all practices pious, each earnest endeavor, today by your vision are fruitful forever. Supreme gain and happiness, naught else is needed. All high hopes and aims, seeing you, have succeeded. Now grant me in kindness the one boon I crave. Simple love for your dear lotus feet may I have. Till in thought, word, and deed he became wholly yours, without any deceit or reserve. Though he try many plans, man cannot even dream of true joy, such he'll never deserve. Chopai 108. At these words of the saint and the warm love he showed, Rama's modest heart thrilled and with joy overflowed. In return, the great hermit and saint he extolled, as to all his companions his greatness he told. King of saintly ones, he whom your honor you deign, all life's endowments and greatness will gain. With each other all gestures and words they employed, of respect and unspeakable pleasure enjoyed. The men of Prayag, the religious and prudent, each hermit, ascetic sage, saint, priest, and student. To see Dasthrat's sons, as the news set them longing, at Saint Bharadwaj's cell quickly came thronging. They all made to Rama their humble obeisance, and feasted eyes on him with happy complacence. Their blessing they gave, highest bliss they achieved, and taught long of the beautiful vision received. Rama rested that night. In the morning he bathed. Thrice holy Prayag, then glad. Sorry. Rama rested that night. In the morning he bathed at thrice holy Prayag, then glad-hearted. He bowed to the saint, and with Sita Lakshman and his man for the woods again started. As they left, Rama asked. Sorry. As they left, Rama asked of the saint for love's sake, kindly tell us, my master, the best way to take. Bharadvaj gave his answer to this with a smile. To you always easy, oh, every mile. Then to show them the way, some young students he called. 50 answered by this happy prospect enthralled. Each one loved Ram and wishing to show it said, I've seen the road to the woods and I know it. The saint for their great virtue 4 youths selected, which through many worthy lives they had affected. Set off thus and offering reverence devout, once again on his way Rama gladly set out. All the people, whenever a village they neared, ran to share in the vision to all men endeared. Their life, seeing him, was now fruitful and hallowed. Their joyous returned, but their hearts Rama followed. Sip of tea. Excuse me. Oh, God. Awful. Excuse me. The riverside people all ran at the news of his coming. I've nothing to do, was the ruse.
You
At the
missed
sight.
one. Doha 106.
Oh, yes, sorry, I missed it. Sorry, thanks. Rama courteously sent back the student who gained their heart's wish and the fruit of their study. Descending the Jamuna's bank, he there bathed in its waters as dark as his body. When you get to Prayag, at the Sangam, the Jamuna goes on the south side and the Ganga stays on the north side after they meet. So I'm going to say that again. Rama courteously sent back the students who gained their heart's wish and the fruit of their study. Descending the Jamuna's bank, he there bathed in its water as dark as his body. The riverside people all ran at the news of his coming. I've nothing to do was the ruse. At the sight of such beauty as there the three stood, they were thankful at sharing in fortune so good. Who are you and from whence came you? None of them asked. They were eager to know their longing they must. But the ones who were older were both wise and mature, recognized 'twas Prince Rama by signs clear and sure. They told all they knew of his greatness and glory and why the king banished him, told the whole story. And what they were told, they were all deeply pained. What the king and queen did was not right, they complained. At that time, an ascetic came into the crowd, young in years, but his virtuous force well avowed. Hermit clad, much devoted to Rama, I know it. His nature and name are not known to this poet. His body was thrilled and his eyes filled with tears as he recognized there his own God. Down before him he fell like a log before telling his state as he lay on the sod. Rama raised him, and he in the Lord's loving hold was one the stone finding that turns all to gold. All onlookers said as they watched, this communion shows love and life's chief end in bodily union. At Lakshman's feet next the young devotee fell. Lakshman raised him with love, his heart also did swell. Dust from Sita's fair feet to his brow he applied. Sita blessed him as though her own son at her side. Next the boatman gave his salutation, and he welcomed Guha, known as Rama's true devotee. He drank imbuter's nectar from his well-filled eyed cups, glad as one who, when hungry, on finest fare sups. Then he bowed low again at the Lord's lotus feet. Rama welcomed this love, made his joy thus complete. He asked leave to go, strong of heart and rejoicing, then left them his gladness and love boldly voicing. The beautiful three then folks watched as they must, and in loving concern their affairs they discussed. Tell me, what kind of parents are they who would send to the forest such beautiful children, my friend? Rama then dismissed Guha, his friend and guide, giving him counsels all kindly and fitting. The boatman at once to his own home returned, to the world his master submitting. Sita, Ram, and Lakshman again with clasped hands paid to the Jumuna river what reverence demands. Then her praises as born of the Lord of the day, they uplifted as gladly they went on their way. While travelling, they met on the road many others who lovingly said as they saw the two brothers, "Your bodies show signs of the offspring of kings. What we see makes us wonder and doubt at such things. When here we see you and with bare feet you travel, the stars tell us lies, truth we cannot unravel. Along this rough road, woods and mountains are strung, and this fair woman with you, so tender and young. There are lions and elephants on every hand. As companions, we'll go with you if you command. We will gladly accompany you till you tell us to leave you, and then we will bid you farewell." Thus they offered their help, their eyes filled full of glad tears, and their bodies with love all a tremble. But Rama dismissed them to go on their way with voice courteous, kindly, and humble. To each village and town where the travellers stayed on the road, praise by gods and by spirits was paid. By great virtue in fortunate moment were these places built so well favoured to comfort and please. Even paradise could not for joy with that place be compared, where Lord Rama's feet left their feast's clear trace. Mm. Even paradise could not for joy with that place be compared, where Lord Rama's feet left their clear trace. Those who live by the roads, those who live by the roadside of fortunate birth, won the praises of heaven for their virtuous worth. Upon Rama dark-hued like a cloud in the skies, and on Sita and Lakshman they feasted their eyes. Every time Rama bathed in a river or stream, heaven's envious founts made its praise their great theme. And whenever he rested beneath a tree's shade, highest praise in its honor the heavenly tree made. Fragrant dust from his fair lotus feet earth received, and at last in assured happy fortune believed. The clouds up above gave him shade heaven's hosts, brightest blossoms upon his path strewed, as looking at the animals, birds, woods, and hills, on his way Lord Rama pursued. Oops, sorry. Whenever these travellers with love's happy load to a village came near by the side of the road, old and young, men and women all ran to the spot. At the news, each his home and his duties forgot. When a sight of the three and their beauty was gained, all rejoiced. Vision now had its purpose attained. With emotion, all bodies were thrilled, all eyes moist. Every one seeing these two young heroes rejoiced. Word beyond words their condition, such joy did abound, as when beggars a heap of heaven's jewels have found. Each thoughtfully gave to his friend wise tuition. Our eyes can attain now their fullest fruition. While looking at Rama, one gladly amazed would go lovingly with him away as he gazed. To his heart one to his heart one the vision through eye gate would draw, smitten in mind, body all by all that he saw. When they came to a fine shady fig tree, one spread on the ground mats of soft leaves and grass, and said, "Take a rest here for a short while, or better, stay here and sleep the night pass." Then, then an earthenware jar filled with water one brought, and refresh yourself, master, from this he besought. Their loving words hearing, their warm hearts beholding, Lord Rama in kindliest thoughts all enfolding, and very well knowing that Sita was tired, with her rested a while in the shade as desired. Each man and each woman there looked on with rapture, such beauty and grace as might well all hearts capture. Around him they stood, each one still as a stock, gazing on his moonlight face like a rapt pheasant flock. His slim form, straight and dark as a young Tamil tree, was a sight even love gods might well wish to see. And Lakshman, from head to foot, shining like lightning, a vision the eyes of all onlookers brightening. In hermit, dress clad, at their side quiver slung, bow and shaft in their hands, strong and firm, though so young. On their heads, thick hair knotted, their chests big and broad. Long, strong arms, big and bright to their, sorry. On their heads, thick hair knotted, their chests big and broad, long, strong arms, big, bright to their eyes. Beads of sweat on their forehead, each face round and bright as the full autumn moon at its rise. One dark and one fair in hue, both of them treasures of joyous delight, though so useful, with bright moonlight faces, eyes like
Hold on. You missed Chopai 116.
116.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry. I've got to turn the page. Oh, 116, not 112. Where is it? Ah, how do I do that? This young, handsome, princely pair beggars description. I had not the power for worthy ascription. On these three, in whom beauty's marks all combined, people gaze, giving fully their heart, soul, and mind. They looked long and looked hard, faint with love at the sight, dazed and held like deers when they gaze at a sight. Then the woman in hesitant love made approach, that a question to Sita they shyly might broach. They pressed her feet gently, and though words were meager, they asked her their question in tones soft and eager. We'd something to ask you, we humbly confess it, but woman-like hesitate, lady, to press it. Don't be angry with us, forgive our presumption. Remember, we're village folks lacking in gumption. These plainly are princes, so handsome and fine, that the splendor of jewels and gold they outshine. They openly put love's God to shame. What relation, fair lady, with them do you claim? That,
Wait. No, you missed Chopai
oh, yeah,
116.
sorry, sorry. It's the bloody book, so pages are so big. Sorry, excuse me. One dark and one fair in hue, both of them. Sorry, this changing of the rhythms, I don't get it always. One dark and one fair in hue, both of sorry, one dark and one fair in hue, both of them treasuries of joyous delight, though so useful, with bright moonlight faces like eyes like Lawton lilies, they charm us, they're curious and truthful. They openly put countless love gods to shame. What relation, fair lady, with them do you claim? At their eager inquiry, so lovingly mild, Sita modestly blushed as she inwardly smiled. She looked first at the woman and then at the ground. Cause for shyness in telling of each youth she found. In her voice like a bird's, as her fawn-like eyes drooped, she said lovingly to all the women there grouped, "The young fair one whose grace is delightful to see is named Lakshman. My brother-in-law now is he." Brows lifted and face with her veil's borders covered, towards Rama she looked, and her gaze o'er him hovered. "My husband," her eyes gave the signal bewitching, slant like the tail of a wagtail quick twitching. The young village women were wholly entranced, like a beggar on who heaps of jewels had chanced. They fell down at her feet, and this blessing they gave, by their love overwhelmed and transported. With him may you happily live, while the earth by the serpent divine is supported. As Parvati to Shiva, be you ever dear to your Lord, and with us many your favor rest here. Then, with clasped hands, they made this their prayerful refrain. If you come, when returning by this road again, let each of us see you and serve you as a servant. So seeing them thirsty with love full and fervent. To all of them Sita encouragement gave, just as moonbeams the lilies refreshingly lave. Mm. Lakshman then, knowing well what his brother desired, of the villagers humbly their best road inquired. As they heard, men and women, their gladness was chilled, bodies shook with their grief and their eyes with tears filled. With minds joyless and darkened as though in ill health. God has robbed us, they said, after giving us wealth. Then knowing that all men to fate are subjected, the three with good heart to their road they directed. With Lakshman and Sita, the Lord Ranganatha, the forest his way further wended. The people returning spoke lovingly of them, and after them every heart tended. The people on seeing them go were dismayed, in their grieved hearts the blame on Lord Brahma was laid. They said feeling fortune had never been worse. All God's ways and his doings seem wholly perverse. He is thoughtless and heartless, he goodness forgets. He has spotted the moon after rising it sets. Heart's desires are in heaven, the ocean is salt. These young princes he sent to the woods for no fault. If such people as these to the jungle are sent, then for whom are life's pleasures and comforts all meant? If these, as we see them, barefooted must wander, 'tis vain wealth and skill on fine chariots to squander. If these must on grass and leaf mats lay their heads, then for whom and what purpose are soft restful beds? When he sends such as these to live under the trees, why make royal abodes with such labour for ease? When in hermits coarse cloth and hair knotted, these must wander, so beautiful, young, and well born. God in vain has made all kinds of gems and fine clothes, by the princes should such things be worn. If wild herbs, roots, and fruits these young people must eat, wholly useless is nectar like food, rich and sweet. Said one, these were not made by the gods, but to birth by their own power came with such beauty and worth. In the scriptures, the things God has made, you will find, the things heard, seen, and grasped by man's ear, eye, and mind. Search creation, all worlds to the farthest bound. Mongst things made are such females and males ever found. When he saw them, God's mind by their beauty was stirred. Others like them he tried to make by his own word. But none came to birth, though he tried, when hope vanished. In envy these three to the forest he banished. Another said, I have but little of learning, but think myself blessed and fruitful by yearning. Who sees, who has seen, or will see them I count? Highly virtuous, reaching joys, full flowing fount. Of the travellers they knowingly talked in this way, and at last said, their eyes with tears filling, how can these young delicate bodies endure the road's trials, even though they are willing? The women were all in their love deeply worried, like quails that at twilight are flustered and flurried. Hard roads, tender lotus-like feet, thus comparing, they said in distressed tones, their troubled hearts bearing. When each tender foot in the dust softly pricks, as our hearts at the sight, earth when touched so shrinks. To the woods, when God sent them, this also he owed, that with fragrant soft flowers he brightened the road. This one boon to ask of him in hope we make bold. This bright vision may we in our eyes ever hold. Many people who were not just there at that time, missed the vision of Rama and Sita sublime. When they heard of their charm, anxious hearts to allay, they inquired, how far now have they gone on their way? The strong ones ran quickly, caught up with the party and saw them, then turned back with praise, glad and hearty. The women, the old, the young, and sight missing, with cries and laments their hands wrung. In this fashion, whenever Lord Rama arrived, people gripped by his love to him clung. I'm just wondering how far I should read. In place after place, 'twas the same happy story on seeing him who is the Sun Kingdom's glory. Some people, on hearing a part of the news, on the king and the queen poured their hearty abuse. Others said, he's done well. He has gladdened our eyes with this vision of beauty, a happy surprise. But some women and men, as together they walked, of these matters more simply and lovingly talked. Happy father and mother who gave them their birth. Happy home whence they came, of all homes upon earth. Blessed hills and dales, hamlets and woods, all the places. Whenever these princely ones show their bright faces, the Lord in creating them found highest pleasure, and now looks upon them as love's greatest treasure. Of these travelling youths spread the story and fame by all the roads in the forest wherever they came. As with Lakshman and Sita, he went on his way through the woods, glad at each gladdening night. I think good place to start. I think that's the end of a section. So, to somebody, Dina, would you like to carry on?
I'm just having nibbles. I think Guna's going to take the reins, isn't it?
Look, there's
Guna?
Guna. There's a picture for you, Mathura.
Where?
Guna.
Oh, yes. Okay, yeah. God, you've got the good setting here. I'm going to make one. Don't worry.
Can we hear
Okay.
Guna speak?
Okay, take it away. I'm going to take it away. You can please start. I'll just get rid of my video.
I don't think we can hear Guna.
Yeah, you got to put.
Can you hear me?
That's better. Yeah, now.
Okay.
I'll get rid of my 1 minute.
Wait.
Okay.
I'm just trying to get rid of my video. Why the bloody hell?
If you tap on the phone and then it should give you.
I know it should do. I'm tapping all over it and it's not. Sorry, I got accused
If
my
you let
language.
just Guna read and just do it,
I know. I just do. Just start.
Okay.
Start fresh.
As with Lakshman and Sita, he went on his way through the woods, glad at each gladdening sight. He, the son to the lotus of Raghu's great line, to his people gave constant delight. Rama led, Lakshman followed, as onward they strode. With their kingly grace, even their hermit's garb glowed. Between them walked Sita, in wondrous charm greater than Maya between the soul and the Creator. Again to my mind she moved there in like fashion, as loveliness walks between springtime and passion. Or, trying another fit likeness to muster, as 'tween moon and Mercury shines a star cluster. She carefully, modestly walked, as was meet, in between the marks made by her Lord Rama's feet. But their brother, to blot out their footprints, was loath, so he walked with his feet right and left of them both. Birds and beasts, as they saw them, fell under control of their beauty. The hearts of them all Rama stole. So great was the love of these three, to declare it defies me. There's nothing with which to compare it. The people who saw those dear travellers, the brothers, and Sita with loving emotion, were easily carried without the least effort at once over life's vast dread ocean. Yes, even today, and in dreaming of these, dearest wayfarers in his heart any man sees. He at once at the realm of Lord Rama arrives, by a path that the greatest saint hardly contrives. Raghubir, every time he saw Sita was tired, and when water and shade were at hand as desired, he would halt and would eat with them both fresh green food. Then at dawn, after bathing, their road they pursued. They saw beautiful woods, lakes, and hills on the way, and to Valmiki's hermitage came one fine day. The saint's home they saw in true pleasure abounded, by charming hills, forest and waters surrounded. In pond lotuses and in groves flowers bloomed, over all filled with nectar, bees lazily zoomed. Birds and beasts ate together, glad cries filled the air, of their terrors and enmities no sign was there. The young lotus-eyed Rama rejoiced when he saw this delightful and pure hermit home. The great saint quickly went out to give him glad welcome on hearing that Rama had come. To the saint, as they met, Rama reverently bowed. With his blessing the saint warm affection avowed. His eyes, having seen Rama, had all they needed, as he, his three guests, to his ashram proceeded. The dearest of all guests this day he had greeted. Rejoicing and reverent, he bade them be seated. He had fresh, delicious fruits brought as they sate, of which all the three travellers hungrily ate. With his joy, Saint Valmiki at heart was inspired, as his eyes here on bodily bliss gazed untired. Rama, folding his lotus-like hands, spoke this word that brought fresh charm and gladness to all those who heard. King of saints, with all worlds like a plum in your hand, you see past, present, future, all things understand. Then he told the whole tale in the saintly one's ears, how the queen to the woods sent him for these long years. Brother Bharat as king and fulfilment thus given to mother's wish and father's word. Above all, sight of you, reverend sir, all these boons by past merits are on me conferred. My lord, of your sacred feet gaining this vision, my good deeds have made me fruitful provision. Now tell us the place, sir, and give us your permit, where we may live, giving distress to no hermit. That king without fire burns in furious flame, who to saints and ascetics brings trouble and shame. To please Brahmins and priests is the root of all joys, but their anger a myriad families destroys. So with this in mind, word of some place to me give, where with brother and wife I may quietly live. By your kindness we'll build there of leaves and of grass a hut, charming, though small, and in peace our days pass. As he heard Rama's words, frank and void of complaint, that is good, very good, said the wise learned saint. Pride of Raghu's line, such words from you we expect, one who guards truth and scripture with earnest respect. Rama, truth ever guarding, and all good rewarding, by your kindly will, Lord of all. Janki, mother of earth, gives to all things their birth, their full grown and their end, great and small. Lakshman, true blessing giving, to lifeless and living, as Sheshnag bears earth on his hoods. You are born as a king, hosts of demons to bring to destruction, and thus save the gods. Your true nature and being transcend all man's utterance, Rama, all wisdom and knowledge. The scriptures declare without end, you are limitless, changeless, beyond all description. As you look on the play of the world and of chance, 'tis your hand moves the three mighty gods in their dance. Your deep mystery even to them is unknown. How could others such knowledge attain to or own? He can know you on whom you the knowledge bestow, be one with you, indeed, if you thus he may know. Devoted ones know you, O Lord, by your favour, you are to their hearts as a sweet-smelling savour. Your being is unbounded knowledge and bliss. Those who know you as ever unchanging know this. You have taken this form, and you speak and behave as a human king, gods and the saintly to save. Seeing you and your ways, Rama, hearing your voice, foolish men are bewildered, but wise men rejoice. Always true, always right is what you do and say. As you wish and pull strings, so our part we must play. You have asked of me where you can stay, now give heed to this hesitant question of mine. Is there any place where you are not? Show me one, and that place then to you I'll assign. As he listens to these loving words of the saint, Rama inwardly smiled, but with bashful restraint. Saint Valmiki then laughingly said once again, in a voice that by sweetness made love very plain, listen, Rama, while I of the places now tell, where with Sita and Lakshman close by you may dwell. The people who give as the ocean their ear, and your story drink in as streams eager to hear. Who receive and receive, but have never too much. A fit dwelling for you is the heart of all such. The people whose eyes for your vision athirst, gaze like rainbirds that watch for the rain cloud to burst. Who, by strange waters, seas, streams and lakes will not stop, but are happy to get of your beauty one drop. Their heart is your shrine, with true gladness upwelling. With Lakshman and Sita, make that place your dwelling. The people who gather like swans the rich pearls of your virtues that lie thickly strewed, in the charming pure lake of your doings and fame, in their heart, Rama, make your abode. The people whose nostrils receive in each place with delight the sweet odour, my Lord, of your grace, who eat food that faith first of all to you offers, and wear clothes and gems as received from your coffers, who reverently bow, seeing God, priest and teacher, and show humble love as their spirit and nature, whose hands daily serve at the feet of their Lord, and whose hearts in no other but you are assured. Those whose feet walk as pilgrims with you in your ways, make their hearts your own dwelling throughout all their days. The people who make in your name every prayer, who with dear ones bring worship to you everywhere, who to you sacrifices and offerings uplift, who feed Brahmins and give to them many a gift, who consider their master more even than you, and with honour and love render all service due, whose one longing, when other hearts wholly are yours, has abundantly happily fruited. With Sita and Lakshman dwell you in their heart, 'tis a place wholly worthy and suited. The mind, with no anger, lust, pride, foolish notions, no prejudice, enmity, greed, wild emotions, no arrogance, falsehood, elusive deceit. Such a mind, Ragarai, for your dwelling is meet. Those who seek others' good hold their love and esteem, to whom praise and abuse, joy and pain alike seem. Who with thoughtfulness speak only truth, and in love, in your care rest while sleeping, or when waking move. Who only in you see their way of salvation, in these dear hearts make Rama your habitation. Who look on another's wife as their own mother, and count as rank poison the wealth of another. Who when others prosper, express sincere gladness, and lovingly share their distresses and sadness. To whom you are dearer than all else beside, in their hearts as your sacred shrine, Rama, abide. Those to whom, my dear son, you are father and mother, their master, their teacher, their friend. With your brother and Sita abide in their hearts as your sanctuary world without end. Who shun others' faults and their virtues acknowledge, who suffer for cows and the priest's divine college, who earnest support to the right always give. Hearts of such men are places where you may well live, who their failings know well and your goodness attest, upon you in all matters with confidence rest. And devotion to Rama count dearer than life, in their hearts you may live with Vaidehi your wife, who position, society, prestige and wealth, even duty, dear family, household and health. In devotion to you all these things will forsake, in the hearts of all such faithful ones your home make. Who for heaven or hell or release do not care, since you, bow and shaft bearer, they see everywhere. Who to you are devoted in deed, word and thought. In their loving hearts, Rama, your home may be sought. Those who everywhere always will ask nothing more, but sincere love for you, Lord, alone. In such hearts through eternity make your abode, 'tis a place you may claim as your own. In this manner the saint many places revealed, and to Rama his loving words greatly appealed. Then he said once again, listen now while I tell of a fair quiet spot that will suit you right well. Go and take up your dwelling on Chitrakoot Hill. Such a place all your needs can conveniently fill. In those fine hills and forests you'll find all you want. Birds and beasts of all kinds make it their quiet haunt. A river, whose fame is by scripture related, which Atri's wife by austere powers created. Mandakini flows to the Ganges, and sin can destroy like a malicious man-eating jinn. Saint Atri and others live there, who their bodies subdue by severe penance, prayers, and deep studies. Go, Rama, and make all their efforts succeed. On that hill bestow glory, that's glory indeed. When Valmiki had told of the hill Chitrakoot's fame and glory unbounded, unscathed, the two brothers and Sita went there, and at once in the pure nearby river they bathed. Rama said, this place, Lakshman, seems good every way. Now please look for a spot where these years we may stay. A spur Lakshman saw by the northern bank bounded, bow-like on 3 sides by a ravine surrounded. Its shafts, gifts and temperance, the river its string, and its target all ills that this vile age may bring. The huntsman, the hill, Chitrakoot firm and constant, his aim never misses, but kills in an instant. The place Lakshman showed them, as thus he reported, and seeing the spot his plan Rama supported. The gods, knowing Rama this home had approved, to the spot, led by Indra, all eagerly moved. As the wild, simple jungle folk came, they disguised 2 neat grass and leaf dwellings they quickly devised. The great charm of these cottages cannot be told. One was small, one was large, Sitaram to hold. There Rama, by Lakshman and Sita attended, lived royally in huts of grass, as though here must the love god, with beauty and springtime, his days in a hermit's garb pass. Gods and seraphs, the guardians of place and of time, in those days came to Chitrakoot, hill most sublime. In deep reverence for Rama, heads bowed and heads raised, they rejoiced at the vision as on him they gazed. They all said, as upon him bright flowers they poured, "At long last we have found again our gracious Lord." Their distresses they told him and asked for his aid. Home returning, each one's highest praise to him paid. All the hermits and saintly ones came at the news that in Chitrakoot Rama now lived a recluse. With due honour, the light of Raghu's royal race greeted all of the saints as they came to the place. Every saint in his love to his breast Rama clasped, and, in blessing him, life's richest fruitfulness grasped. This wonder at heart each saint saw and recorded, and knew all his hopes and prayers amply rewarded. The Lord paid due honours to each saintly group, and then gave them his leave to depart. They returned to their cells to perform sacrifices and rigours and prayers with new hearts. When the forest folk, Kols and Kirats, got the word, they rejoiced as when of coming wealth one has heard. Quickly making leaf platters, sweet fresh fruit to hold, they came rushing like beggars who scramble for gold. Some who had seen and told of the brothers before, now by others were asked as they hurried for more. Of Raghubir's beauty this teller and hearer, in happy hope to the blessed vision came nearer. They saw him at last, bowed with eager delight, and presented their gifts, gladdened now by the sight. Where they were, like drawn pictures, transfixed they all stood, bodies thrilled and eyes filled with a happy tear flood. Rama, knowing with love they were gripped and overwhelmed, their emotions with courteous loving words calmed. As they bowed there before him again and again, in these humble words raised their joyous refrain. We know, since your vision to us has been given, we have our own good Lord and Master. Your coming, Koshala's Lord, now will assure us all good and avert all disaster. Blessed forests, fields, hills, and roads where you have placed your divine feet and where your dear footprints are traced. Thrice blessed, those birds, beasts, and all jungle creatures, whose birth bears full fruit as they gaze on your features. And we, with our families, are blessed above all, We, your vision, have gained, at your feet we may fall. You chose this fair spot as your home with good reason. You'll live here in comfort in every season. From elephants, tigers, and snakes we'll preserve you. Whatever you need, we will willingly serve you. Each forest and cavern, each hill and ravine is well known to us, Lord, every foot have we seen. When you wish it, for hunting, good plans we will make, and will show you each waterfall, streamlet, and lake. With our families we'll serve you, our happiest task. Never hesitate, help to command, sir, or ask. He whose ways neither scriptures nor sages can fathom, of infinite mercy and mild, to the words of the forest folk listened intent, as a father gives ear to his child. To Lord Rama there's nothing but love that is dear. Know and heed this, all you who are willing to hear. The forest folk Rama with love fed and nourished. By his words their own love grew stronger and flourished. Then as he dismissed them they reverently bowed, and returning they all sang his praises aloud. As the brothers with Sita thus in the woods dwelt, great the joy that the sages and deities felt. And the jungle itself, since Lord Rama came there, on all hands was increasingly pleasant and fair. On trees of all kinds one could see fruits and flowers, and canopied creepers o'erhung shady bowers. By nature all things heavenly grace seemed to show, as though heaven they had left for earth's gardens below. O'er the flowers buzzed beautiful bees in great swarms. Fragrant breezes blew soft with their comforting charms. Birds of beauty and song, parrot, cuckoo, blue jay, peacock, bulbul, quail, partridge and pheasant, flashed colours and ravished the heart with their songs, to the eye and the ear always pleasant. Here the elephant, lion, boar, monkey and deer lived as one, and all enmity lost with all fear. When Rama pursued them, deer herds, unaffrighted, were held by his charms and gazed on him delighted. Seeing Rama's fair forest, the gardens on earth of the gods coveted its rare beauty and worth. Rivers, Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati, sublime, Narmada, Godavari, those in every clime. Every ocean and sea, every lake, every stream, sang the praise of Mandakini, fair and supreme. Every mountain and hill, both of east and of west, Mandar, Meru, Kailash, Himalaya, and the rest. In whatever place found, and whatever its name, of the hill Chitrakoot sang and the glory and fame. Greatest joy filled the heart of the whole Vindhya range. It had gained such esteem without effort or change. Said the gods day and night, here on Chitrakoot hill, highest favours and merits combine. Every bird, every animal, richly to bless, every plant, every tree, every vine. All the creatures with eyes, Rama looking upon, found their birth had borne fruit, and all sorrow was gone. Things inanimate, touched by the dust of his feet, gained a heavenly heritage, blessing complete. The hills, rocks and forests were all happy-hearted, since to them such holiness now was imparted. How tell of the glory in places abiding, where Rama, the ocean of joy, was residing, where Vishnu with Sita and Lakshman had taken, as Rama abode, milky ocean forsaken. The pleasure that here to the jungle belonged. Bard divine could not tell, though he be thousand-tongued. Then how can I tell it? Poor I, meanly gifted, can high mountains by a pond tortoise be lifted? O service that Lakshman as brother could render was given with courtesy, loving and tender, with thoughts upon Rama and Sita each moment, and knowing their love too was strong. Not once, even in dreams, for his friends, home and parents, did Lakshman regretfully long. Dina G, would you like to continue?
I would. Let me get set up.
So at the top of page 617.
That's beginning with thoughts upon Rama and Sita each moment, is it?
Chapter 140, with Rama there Sita was happily living.
The next one. Yep, on board. Thank you. That was really beautiful, Gunamala. Much appreciated. I felt like we were listening to the bards of in the medieval ages, kind of. Mm-hmm. Really nice.
Really well written, isn't it?
It is. Well, it's from that time period. It reflects that language, doesn't it? Jai Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman Ki Jai. So we're continuing with Chopai 140 of the Tulsidas Ramayana. With Ram, their Sita was happily living. No thought to home, city, or family giving. Each moment beholding her lord's countenance, she rejoiced like a moon pheasant held in trance. Every day she saw Ram's love had increased. Like the cuckoo in the daytime, her joy never ceased. The woods, as her heart's love, at Ram's feet rested. With pleasures of countless avads were invested. With Ram, the grass hut was love's very station. Each beast and each bird a beloved relation. Dear as her own parents, the saints with their wives. Roots and fruits held the sweetness of heavenly hives. With her Ram, grass mats much more restfulness gain than the love god's own couches in thousands could have. Could the one on whom gazing mere men become kings, be ensnared by the pleasure of sensuous things? If Lord Ram, recalling all sensuous pleasures, are like blades of grass a mere trifle, no wonder that in the world mother, his Sita, his love all such longings should stifle. The things that to Lakshman and Sita would ever give happiness, Ram would say and endeavor. The stories and legends of old times he told them. When listening, a deep, quiet joy would enfold them. Sometimes, in his heart, thoughts of Avad would arise. At such times, tears of longing and love filled his eyes. Recalling his parents, his brothers and neighbours, recalling all Bharat's sincere, loving labours, the kindly one's heart seemed to sorrow appointed, but faced all with courage since times were disjointed. Both Lakshman and Sita, as Ram they watched, were pained with him, as shadow and man are attached. Then the kindly and patient one, seeing the grief of his dear ones, he who gives to true hearts relief. Stories sacred and old would begin to recount, from which flowed for his hearers a comforting fount. There with Lakshman and Sita in those grassy huts, Rama lived in this simple resplendence. Like Indra in heaven, with Jayant and Sachi, his son and his wife, as attendants. Over his brother and wife, the Lord kept watch and ward, as the eye led the eye and its pupil must guard. Somebody on mic? Lakshman, faithfully Sita and Ram there served, as by worldly men well are their bodies preserved. He who brings to dumb creatures, to gods and saints good, thus in comfort and peace passed his days in the wood. Rama's coming and life in the woods has been told. How Sumant came to Avad, I now will unfold. Leaving Rama, the boatmen, when on their way back, saw Sumant and his chariot there in the track. The great grief of the minister, thus seen and heard, cannot fitly be told, 'tis beyond pen and word. O Rama, O Sita, O Lakshman, thus calling, he lay on the ground in his anguish, appalling. The horses towards Rama's road looked as they neighed, like a bird robbed of wings, they were wholly dismayed. They were eating no grass, they were drinking no water. Their eyes were all flooded with tears. Seeing Rama's own horses in this state, the boatman was seized with fresh sorrows and fears. Then their leader said patiently, seeing him torn by such grief, "Come, Sumant, play the man, do not mourn. You are learned and well, know life's highest ideal. Give your courage a chance, though God's anger you feel." He told stories to show how such things should be faced. Then Sumant in his chariot once more he placed. But helpless with grieving, Sumant could not drive it. His heart ached with Ram's loss. Could he survive it? The horses reared up, plunged and would not be driven, like wild beasts to harness, just then newly given. They'd go a few steps, stop and turn and get back again, as though suffering with Ram away, sharp as pain. When Rama's or Sita's name anyone uttered, towards him as they neighed, their eyes turned and ears fluttered. The pain of those horses was past all belief. As with head jewel lost, a snake knows no relief. The head boatman, poor Guha, himself was distressed. At the state of the minister's horses, he chose from his followers 4 trusty men, sent to lead the beasts home in their courses. The chariot and minister having dispatched, Guha's grief with the grief of the rest could be matched. As the boatmen to Avad the chariot returned, at each step and each moment, they too deeply mourned. Of these mourners, the state of Sumant seemed the worst. All the way he cried, "Rama is gone, life is cursed. At the last, this vile body will die and be taken. All glory die too if Rama forsaken. My life must be bound by some infamous crime. Oh, why does it not come to an end at this time? Alas, foolish, my heart in its vain ignorance, that it breaks not in two, though it now has the chance." His hands wringing, his head beating, his grief he outpoured, like a miser when suddenly robbed of his hoard. Like a warrior bold and renowned, who can wield mighty weapons, but now has to run from the field. Like a Brahmin priest, holy, high-born and discerning, well read in the full Vedic course, who has drunk by mistake drunkard's liquor and now shows regret. Such was Sumant's remorse. Like ladies high-born, who for virtue are noted, in thought word and deed to their husbands devoted. But now, forced to leave them, with weeping and wailing, such grief over the minister's heart was prevailing. Sight dim as his eyes with tears was suffused, deafened ears and a mind all distraught and confused, and through lips dry and colourless came panting breath, this one thought, he will come back in time, held off death. As distressing the awful pale sight that there filled, watcher's vision as one who his parents has killed. In his mind, his regretful remorse rang death's knell, like a sinner's thoughts, knowing he is making for hell. In silence, he journeyed and sadly reflected, how can I face Avad, where now I'm expected? If one sees this chariot and Ram not in it, he'll shame with me with questioning looks from that minute. When the people of Avad distressed, seeing me here alone, with their questions come running, I must harden my heart and make truthful replies. For the truth, there is no chance of shunning. Oh God, when the queens in distressful dismay of the three exiles question me, what can I say? If of Lakshman his mother should ask, seeking ease, what good news can I give her to comfort and please? When Kushalia comes running on Ram's behalf, thinking of him in love as a cow her calf, can I say, when she asks, how and where is your son? To the woods Ram, Sita and Lakshman have gone. When one asks of them, that's the reply I must give. Such the happy life in now Avad I must live. When the king questions me, he whose life is bound up in his son, and I see him drink grief's bitter cup, can I say without shame as I look in his face, in the woods I have left them and return to this place? If he hears of his children this news as he must, he'll depart from his body as mere straw and dust. When the water goes, clay dries and cracks, since my heart, Rama's gone, did not burst on the spot, it would seem that a pain-bearing, undying body God gave to me here as my lot. On he went, his heart echoing this mournful tune, and arrived at the Tamas's banks very soon. Here, with thanks to their homes as he his boatman guide sent, who with reverent farewell but distressed homeward went. As he came near the city, deep shame his heart filled, as though Brahmins or teachers or cows he had killed. Sitting under a tree the full day he there passed, opportunity called him when night fell at last. So he entered the city when darkness could hide, and went into the palace, the chariot outside. Some folks, getting the news that a chariot had come, flocked to see at the door of their king's royal home. Seeing horses distressed, chariot too recognizing, they shrank and grew faint, as does hail at sun rising. The citizens gathered were like fish dismayed. The citizens gathered were like fish dismayed. When the water dries up in the pond where they played, the queens heard that Sumant had returned, but alone. At the news they were all agitated. The palace seemed to them a terrible place, like a chamber of ghosts and ill-fated. The queens, putting questions, were all deeply pained, but his voice would not come, and no answer they gained. Wholly deaf were his ears and his eyes wholly blind. Only one thing he said, where shall I, the king, find? The maid saw this grief, as his senses forsook him, and quickly to Kaushalia's chambers they took him. The minister saw there the king in such state as the dull faded moon when its glories abate. He had shunned food and sleep, not a jewel was found, but unspeakably wretched he lay on the ground. As he lay, from him sounded continual sighs, like Yayati who fell from his throne in the skies. Every moment he groaned, from intolerable things, like the sun-seeking eagle that fell with burnt wings. None can tell the king's suffering. The pain never ceased, but each moment, with Rama away, it increased. Rama! Rama! Oh, dear Rama! He constantly cried, sometimes Lakshman's and Sita's names calling beside. Sumant gave to his master his greeting. O king, be victorious, as to him he bowed. At his voice the king quickly sprang up, asked, Where's Ram? And worried anxiety showed. To his bosom the king then his minister clasped, like a drowning man who at his last hope had grasped. Down beside him the minister sat as desired. Then the king, his eyes tear-filled, of Rama inquired, Where are Raghunath, Lakshman, and Sita, my friend? How is Rama? The whole story tell to the end. Have they gone to the forest or come back with you? At these words Sumant broke into weeping anew. What of Rama and Sita and Lakshman? Once more asked the king, with the worry and pain shown before. All the beauty and virtue and worth men could find in his Rama, the king with these thoughts called to mind. To the woods he was sent, though I promised the throne. As he heard, nor exulting nor sorrow was shown. I still live, though, of such a son, wholly bereft. In this world none my equal, in evil are left. To where Ram and Sita and Lakshman are living, I pray take me quickly, my friend. If you do not, I tell you the truth, my own life will come swiftly and soon to its end. More than once on the minister thus the king pressed. Give me news of my sons, was his loving request. Quickly, think up some plan, friend, and show it to me, by which I, Ram, Lakshman and Sita may see. Then the minister patiently, meekly replied, My good lord, in you wisdom and learning reside. You are patient and brave, godlike burdens you bear. In the gatherings of saints you give always and share. Birth and death, all the sorrows and joys that we know, loss and gain, friends who come and who go here below. To time and to fate, my lord, all are subjected. As night follows day, they must all be expected. One happy in ease, sad in sufferings a fool, but the wise is all in all calm, courageous and cool. From wisdom and thoughtfulness fresh courage borrow. For good all look to you, so give up your sorrow. Their first halt they made at the Tamasa. Next, on the sacred and fair Ganges bank. There the princes and Sita all bathed in the river, and of its pure waters they drank. Great the service and honour the boatsmen there paid, as near Sringavera village that night they stayed. In the morning they asked for some milk from the fig, and their hair fastened up in crowns matted and big. Rama, then of his boatman friend, asked for a boat, and with Sita embarking, they set there afloat. Lakshman also, with arrows and bow in his hand, entered into the boat as his brother's command. Then on seeing me worried and sad, Raghubir, in his voice kind and patient, spoke words of good cheer. My good friend, pay for me at my father's dear feet, all respect and upon me his blessings entreat. Then again at his feet offer me this prayer, do not worry for me, sir, nor yield to despair. To us, life in the forest much blessing will bring, and as for you, it means kind, gracious merit, O king. By your kindness and grace to this beautiful place, we have come and shall be blessing obtain. Then your word well fulfilled, fears and worries all stilled, we will come back and see you again. On the Queen Mother's call, at their feet for me fall, give them comfort and make this petition. Be it I your endeavour that happily ever the king sustain kingly position. Again with respect the feet touch of my teacher and make this plea on my behalf. Let your counsel and guidance be such that the king may not worry for me in the least. Pay to family and townfolk love's courteous behest, and then on my behalf, my friend, make this request. My well-being by all those as friends is assured, who uphold here in comfort and peace, Avad's Lord. When Bharat returns, give this earnest injunction. In justice and truth discharge your kingly function. Strive always your people to guard and preserve, and as one all the Queen Mothers faithfully serve. As my brother, true brother's duties sustain. For our friends and our parents, our service maintain. But especially, brother, watch over the king, that no worried regrets my loss to him may bring. Something angry and hot at this point, Lakshman said. Ram checked him, and then with me earnestly pled. The thing Lakshman childlessly said, I'll not tell you. I promised him that, my oath's added value. Sita too with her courtesies wished to say more, but was wholly by love overcome. With her rising emotion, her body was trembling, eyes tear-filled, voice faltering and dumb. Rama said, we are ready to set out once more. The boatman then rowed to the opposite shore. Thus the glory of Raghu's line went on his way. With a heart as of stone I stood watching that day. I can't tell all my anguish, however I strive, but somehow with this news I have come back alive. Here the minister stopped, further utterance crushed, as the thoughts of their fearful loss over him rushed. The king, having listened, as Sumant had spoken, now fell to the ground and lay there, his heart broken. From mind so distracted and tortured his body, there writhed like a fish caught in waters that's muddy. The queens show their grief in loud sobbing and cries. All this trouble my powers of description defies. At the sound, their mourning pain even was pained. In endurance no power of endurance remained. Hearing cries in the palace, the people of Avad, with loud wailing noise the air rent, as at night, if a thunderbolt crashed a whole forest, of birds to loud calls would give vent. In his throat the king's breath gurgled, held up and caught, like a snake that in vain its lost jewel has sought. Confused were his senses, all listless and jaded, like lilies that robbed of their water have faded. Koshalya could see the king's miserable fretting. The sun of the solar race seemed as its setting. As mother of Ram, with naught of evasion, she spoke words of courage to meet the occasion. My lord, think of this, mid your grief and emotion. The absence of Ram's a deep and wide ocean. The ship, 14 years limit, you at the helm, and its passengers, all the dear folks of this realm. With due courage and patience you'll get across, but without it we'll drown. there will be total loss. If to heart you will take, my dear husband, my plea, Rama, Sita, and Lakshman, once more we shall see. The king opened his eyes and looked up as the queen spoke these soft, loving words to her lord, but he writhed like a poor, helpless fish on the land when upon it cold water is poured. To arise and sit up, then the king bravely tried, saying Sumant, where now does good Ram abide? Where are Lakshman and Ram, dear to me each one? And Videhi, the wife beloved to my own son? For Dasarat, each moment in misery is spending. The night seemed an age, and that age seemed an ending. The curse of the blind hermit now came to mind. He told Koshalya all, but relief could not find. As he told it, he groaned at the loss thus decreed. Without Ram, he said, life is cursed. Indeed. No use now is this body for things I had willed, since love's promise made by it cannot be fulfilled. My life's love and hope, Rama, clung ground about you. Already too long have I lived, now without you. Lakshman, Sita, Ram, alas, beloved three, as the rain cloud to thirsty birds you were to me. Rama, Rama, oh Rama, my Rama again. Again the king cried as he grieved. Then in anguish he quitted the body and died, and the home and the heavens received.
Oh, Dina.
I know.
Should we leave it there?
Yeah, that's a good stopping point, isn't it?
Yeah.
TK.